Play clock at 5. Pass is intercepted at the goal line by Malcolm Butler.
To Henry. Henry trying to get quick snap. Breeze. Pass is incomplete. No flag for Tommy Lee Lewis.
Got him. Got him at the 40. It's Thomas at the 50. Skipper going free to the 30. To the 20. Thomas to the 10. Denver's going on the New England.
We're now heading into week 6 of the NFL offseason. And yes, indeed, it still has yet to slow up because last week was absolutely insane because not only was Deshaun Watson traded to the Browns, but Johnny Hekker finds a new team. And that was really the biggest news of that day. Now I'm just playing. There's wow. The hits just keep coming. It definitely was a fantastic week, but man, there's some weird stuff going on. First of all, I just want to make it clear with the Deshaun Watson situation with Cleveland. We're going to get into that. I'm going to get in here a little bit later, but I feel bad for Baker Mayfield, and he's being screwed over by the organization that he brought back to relevancy. I'm probably going to get to ranting once we get there. So, go ahead. Stay tuned till the end because that is sure to be a fun one there. But we're also going to talk about the Matt Ryan trade deal that went down on Monday, as well as what? How long has it been since Urban Meyer's been fired? How many bad stories broke during his tenure and then immediately after his tenure? We're this far away, and there is still yet even more atrocious news breaking about him that just makes this hire look somehow even more worse than it was than we used to think, man. It just keeps getting worse for Urban Meyer, and then it just keeps looking like this man should never be employed by even someone like McDonald's, which is apparently a place where he thought that his players couldn't even play at. But we'll get to that in a couple minutes here. Of course, just want to say thank you for tuning in to our yet another NFL offseason breakdown. Of course, I'm your host, Ross Allen. I am without my co-host, Alex, today because he is celebrating his birthday. So, huge shout out to Alex Krob and happy birthday, my man. You're the one that helps to make things run. You're here to not only throw in your fantastic takes, but also to keep some of my takes in check when they might be getting a little bit too hot, because that's something that does happen occasionally around here. He's a good information checker there as well. So, happy birthday to him. And, well, a couple other things going on right now. Of course, you can find everything over at thefourthandlong.com/NFL, or you can also just catch everything Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, Rumble, or just over at thefourthandlong.com itself. You can stream audio right from the website. There's a lot of good stuff going on. The AFL Round 1 just wrapped up. So expect our breakdown show to drop a little bit later this week, as well as our review for the fantastic card that was UFC London. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Keep it locked because we got a lot of great stuff that just continues to get pumped out here. And so for all you baseball fans, baseball is just around the corner. So what better way to get invested into the season than get invested into some cards? Card Stonks episode 7 dropped on Friday. Give me the lowdown on baseball and the cards you must grab. So go ahead, check that one out. Go and make yourselves some damn money. But we're going to jump into this Urban Meyer story that it's not great, man. It is not great. Oh my gosh. This story somehow keeps getting worse. Because, of course, we know there's a whole situation in the bar. There's a situation where he was just a shithead coach. There's the situation where he was ruining Trevor Lawrence. There's a situation where he was kicking players. And now we got even more situations where he didn't know who the league stars were, such as Deebo Samuel, arguably the greatest defensive player of all time, in Aaron Donald. He's like, who is this 99 guy? Who is this Urban Meyer guy? What the hell are you watching? Even every single college football coach and player is going to know about Aaron Donald. Like, I don't know if I believe this, so I refuse to believe that someone in this position, in this day and age, is this stupid or this ignorant to not know who Aaron Donald is? How is this possible? You would have to try to avoid knowing who Aaron Donald was. You have to try to avoid seeing all the media hype around him, especially during the season. How do you not know who Aaron Donald is? It boggles my mind. It doesn't make sense. This is one of those stories where I don't think I believe it, because I just don't think I think Urban Meyer's a damn moron. But this is like next level stupid. This is like extreme stupid. It's a very hard tier to get. Oh, but if this is true, Urban Meyer might go down as the worst and dumbest head coaching hire in NFL history. But also it doesn't help that there's a couple quotes from the man himself that have come out in an article from The Athletic. Let me do a little reading. Story time, reading time with Ross. I guess this is a story too. It's just a horrible story. Don't tell your kids this. Urban Meyer said, quote, And do you know what would happen if I cut you guys? You couldn't get a job paying more than $15 an hour. So, Urban Meyer believes that his team is a bunch of freaking morons. That can't work minimum wage jobs and only have football, apparently. And a veteran player in the room said, I lost all respect for him after that. Then the article goes on to say, not long after veteran receiver John Brown signed with the Jags as a free agent, he ran the wrong route in practice. To correct the mistake, Brown, who was from Florida, and the rookie quarterback Trevor Lawrence, ran him through the route again after practice. Urban Meyer then walked up to the pair, and oh boy, did he have something stupid to say. Hey, Trevor, you've got to slow it down for him, Meyer said. These boys from the South, their transcripts ain't right. You want to run that by me again, Urban Meyer? Oh, boy, just let that sit in for a second. Just let that one sit in for a second. These boys from the South, their transcripts ain't right. Urban, what do you mean by that? How is this guy in the position he is? Maybe Kaepernick has a point after all. Sweet damn, Urban. What are you doing? What are you doing? I don't have anything to say on this just because what? Urban. Moron. Dumbass. Jackass. Come on. Come on. I love the Twitter account FMMA Press. They're the ones that put out a bunch of like fake stories, and some of them are pretty believable. This seems like something that would come not from The Athletic, but from NFL Press. Yeah, maybe I should make. I'm gonna take a note. Maybe I should make that actually. But this is something that seems so possible, but also so stupid that it seems fake. But I think I like this is horrible. I mean, Urban. I should never see public again after this. Oh man, I really think that's all we have to go in for on this story. It's just stupid all around. Stupid what he says, stupid who he is, stupid what he does. The hire is stupid. Everything about him, stupid, and that is putting it lightly. But before I'm speaking about something that isn't stupid, let's talk about the Indianapolis Colts trading for Matty Ice himself. Matt Ryan finally is no longer going to be an Atlanta Falcon. After a little bit of speculation over the last couple of years as well, there's a lot of speculation with him to, maybe Seattle, maybe him a couple of years ago to the 49ers, reunited with Shanahan there. But he is traded to the Indianapolis Colts for a 2022 third-round pick, and the Falcons seem to be eating most of his or all of his contract, and at the same time, they're taking a huge cap hit. And to fill in the void that Matt Ryan is going to leave, they bring in none other than Marcus Mariota, who might not be a better quarterback than Cordell Patterson. All right, feel bad for Kyle Pitts, feel bad for Patterson, feel bad for guess Calvin Ridley's not going to be making any more bets on this team. Gotta bring that story back from a couple weeks ago. Yes, sir. But the Colts Super Bowl odds have jumped from plus 2,800 to plus 2,400. And the NFC loses yet another talented quarterback in that conference. When it comes to quarterback talent, it's not great. If you want to look at the top tier, if you want, I might have to do one of these soon, a little tier ranking of the what's left of the NFC quarterbacks. At the top tier, you're going to have, you got you got Aaron Rodgers, you got Tom Brady, thank you, Brady and Rodgers, and then you have Matt Stafford, who deserves to be up there. I guess if you want to go tier 2, you have Dak, Jameis, Kirk Cousins. But wow. If you're a good team in the NFC, you should have no problem winning games. You should have no problem advancing in the playoffs. This might be one of the weakest conferences I've seen in a while. It just the quarterback position as well. Not only every other position, where it seems like all talent is going to the AFC, and more specifically, the AFC West is essentially becoming the mecca of football. Oh, man, I was excited as a Broncos fan to get Russell Wilson, bring in a bunch of talent, but then the division became the hardest division in the history of the league. So we'll see how that goes. I'm still beyond excited, though. At least the Broncos have a quarterback. But this move makes sense for the Colts, absolutely. It kind of makes sense for the Falcons, too, because Matt Ryan, remember, they were in the running for Deshaun Watson, who we'll get to in a moment. But they didn't get Deshaun Watson. Obviously, lifetime Falcon and always above average in good quarterback, Matt Ryan, felt disrespected, felt a little bit hurt by what the Falcons were doing. He was trying to get a long-term deal, like a 3-year deal, I think he was looking with the Falcons. And that was a hurt relationship that apparently wasn't going to mend. So they get him out of there. He is going to be a Colt. And to me, what this feels like is Matt Ryan is a Colt. Feels like Phillip Rivers, like just a little bit better. It feels like a little bit better version of Phillip Rivers. Like, this is not a move that is really going to move the needle, all right? This is going to improve the team. He is a clear improvement on Carson Wentz, I would say so. I think Matt Ryan is a really solid quarterback. A third-round draft pick for this and for the Falcons eating his contract, that's kind of a steal. That's kind of a steal right there. So I love this move for the Colts. The Colts are a good football team, and they could take advantage of a bad division that they're playing in the AFC South. Really, the only competition there is the Titans, because what are the Texans going to do and what are the Jags going to do? Absolutely nothing, unless you're led by Carson Wentz and you crack the bed with the playoff spot on the line in Week 17. So, Week 18, excuse me. So you got that going for the Colts. It's trying to happen with Matt Ryan. Matt Ryan is like Phillip Rivers without as many fourth quarter interceptions / chokes. So it's an improvement. I do think this is a great move. The Colts are looking to be a solid team, at least on paper. They have a defense that stacks up. They have arguably the best running back in the league. They have a better quarterback now. They have a great offensive line. This looks like it's going to be a good team, and they definitely are in the running to win the AFC South as well. They have a good chance to do so. It's going to be a really tough AFC to play in, but at least within the division, they get a little bit of a rest, at least for 4 games of the year. So they got that going for them. So let me know your thoughts on the whole Matt Ryan trade, how it went down, if this is a good move for either team, and who won. And if you think that the Falcons won this trade, You are absolutely wrong because they did not. The Colts are the clear winners here, and just another move this offseason for them because not only were they able to get something for Carson Wentz, they were able to make the Redskins. I said the R word. Unbelievable. I guess I have to retire early. But sorry, the Dan Snyder football team, the Commanders, Yes, I'm still getting used to it apparently. But the Commanders paid for most, or essentially taking over Carson Wentz's contract, which is not a great one. Also, so the Colts making some great moves this offseason. Good for you guys. But the last thing we're going to talk about, speaking about, someone that wanted to go to the Colts, let's talk about Baker Mayfield, let's talk about Deshaun Watson, and let's talk about the Browns situation here at quarterback. Because, of course, last week they made a huge deal for Deshaun Watson, traded 3 firsts among some other picks to Houston Texans for Deshaun Watson. Then they go on to sign him for a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed contract. This broke the bank for the Cleveland Browns, and this is breaking records in terms of NFL contracts as well. Some Browns things did happen with this one, though. First off, in terms of just Deshaun Watson, the Browns said they did their due diligence about the civil suits that Deshaun Watson faces. Still faces 22 of them. They said that they did the research. They said they checked in. But if you want to talk to the lawyer that represents those 22 women in civil cases, the Browns never reached out. So, Cleveland, are you really doing due diligence? Are you just trying to tell the media, hey, yeah, we did it, and yeah, we're good, guys. Don't worry about it. Shut up. Shut up. So apparently that's what it sounds like the Browns are doing. They're just trying to make themselves look good for the media when they really didn't do anything in the first place. All right, just shout out to you guys, you horribly ran organization. Sweet damn, you guys are pathetic. And speaking of being pathetic, I feel bad for Baker Mayfield in this situation. Here we go. We'll see if I can get to my rant here. Let's see if I can get this out. Because essentially this Baker Mayfield has been left out to dry by an organization that he helped save and actually make relevant again. Remember, before Baker Mayfield, they've gone through dozens of quarterbacks. Not one has really seen real success for them until Baker Mayfield came along and put a little excitement into this team, put a little pizzazz into this team, if you want to call it. He made good commercials. He was entertaining on the sideline. Remember that one slide to the knee, taking pictures? That was a fantastic celebration. That was perfect, if you want to say picture perfect, if you will. I'm not funny. If it wasn't for Baker Mayfield, this team would not be playing the playoffs. This team would not be playing the second round of the playoffs. This team would not be coming close to being the Chiefs in the second round of the playoffs. This team would not have all the hype it had coming into the 2021-22 season, saying that they're going to be solid AFC playoff contenders. The time I'll pat myself on the back because I did not buy into any of the hype, and I was right again. Shout out me. But Baker Mayfield is the only reason this team is seeing success as of late. He's the only real quarterback that they've drafted that they've gotten success out of, or quarterback in general that they've gotten success out of. So, come on, Brown, you couldn't have done anything to help the situation here, and didn't help that this whole season, most of the season, he was playing on a torn throwing shoulder. Now, I had the same injury, torn labrum. It was in my non-dominant shoulder. His offensive line still hurt like hell, but I cannot imagine having to throw the ball 30, 40 times a game for multiple games. That is horrible. That's a bad pain to play through, and he did it. He put on for Cleveland, and it wasn't the best season, but what else were they going to do? He showed grit, and he showed tenacity, and he showed the ability and commitment to this Cleveland team, and they only came back to him. Remember, they were trying to ship him off. They were essentially done. Baker Mayfield put out that whole post on social media saying, hey, man, no, essentially I'm moving on. We're moving on. It's best for us. And then he went on to request his trade as well, and he was hoping for the Indianapolis Colts, which, of course, it's not going to happen anymore. And the Browns only came back to him after the Houston Texans informed him that they would not be trading Deshaun Watson to him. Of course, things changed. Then they traded for Deshaun Watson, and now we're here. But that trade for Deshaun originally falls through, and then Baker Mayfield requests his trade, and the Browns go, No, I don't feel like it. And now he can't, like I said, he can't go into Indy, which was his top spot because Indianapolis has now made a trade for Matt Ryan. The Browns have not been doing anything with Baker Mayfield. And the thing here is I expect something out of an organization like the Cleveland Browns like this to happen. It is a horrible organization. They are ran by morons, and they have a legacy in the history of nothing but the biggest failures that you can accomplish in this sport. This is a horrible franchise that does nothing good for its players and nothing good for its fans. It's literally the factory of sadness, and that is for fans and players alike. It is a hellhole where no one succeeds, no one sees long-term success, and no one is rewarded for bringing a team back from the dead and making them relevant again and making the money again, which is, hey, if you're an owner, what you care about money. Baker Mayfield made you a crap ton of money. I'm sure they got a cut of those fantastic commercials he's doing. But you do this to him. This is what you spit in his face, you kick him at the teeth, and you piss in his Wheaties. I don't know who even eats Wheaties anymore. I don't even know anyone who eats cereal anymore, to be honest. Is that just me? Let me know if you guys still eat cereal. But yeah, this is stupid. This is stupid, man. Like, for the Browns, yes, it's a good trade that you made for Deshaun Watson. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league right now, and he's going to be able to help transform this organization. But if you're looking, also $230 million for 5 years is absurd, and he should not be making that money guaranteed, especially because he still might be suspended by the league. And if you know anything about the NFL, is that their suspensions can be really stupid. It can be really long. It can be really short in terms that they don't make any sense. So you have no idea what to expect from the league and what they're going to do with Deshaun Watson. So the Browns just made this huge trade. They ruined the relationship with Baker Mayfield if it wasn't ruined already. They're paying Deshaun Watson a whole hell of a lot of money. And they might not even get him in some games this season or any games at all. Cleveland. What a shithole that is. Oh, boy. Hey, Ohio. Luckily, you still have the Cincinnati Bengals, the pride and joy of the AFC now. So, congrats to you guys. There's going to be a large influx of Cleveland and Cincinnati fans is what I am guessing we're going to see here. But that's going to wrap it up for what I got for you guys in this breakdown of the NFL offseason. Of course, going over Matt Ryan. Great trade for the Colts. Falcons, what the hell are you doing? The Browns. Deshaun Watson, yeah, that's great. You just ruined Baker Mayfield, and you guys are a bunch of horrible people and a horrible organization for doing so. And Urban Meyer. Do I even really need to say anything more about that? But thank you guys so much for tuning in to this one. Of course, the offseason keeps rolling, so there's always crazy new stuff going on that we need to talk about that we're going to bring up. So you best do yourself a favor. Also, do me a favor, please, because it's amazing. I love you guys when you do this. Go ahead, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Rumble. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Fourth Long Radio. And go ahead and bookmark and save the website, thefourthandlong.com. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Catch us everywhere. Whatever is easier for you guys as well. And if it's Spotify is the best because we do audio and we also do video on there as well. But of course, huge shout out to our Patreon supporters. Like, we'd like to shout them out every time. Shout out to Ray Rodriguez and for all your card collecting needs, going over to Instagram and follow at the Big Bat Box. Check him out, our industry card expert, been there for years and years and years. You can catch him at least once a month over on Card Stonks. And shout out to Ryan Watson and Neil Wiley. Ladies and gentlemen, don't be like Urban Meyer. I really think that's fantastic advice. Just see what Urban Meyer does. Do the opposite. Have a great and blessed day, everyone. We'll see you next time.